Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second session of our construction summit. My name is Jackie Umbles, your host for today's uh, workshops, and we hope that you get all of your information that you are looking for out of these workshops. We are going to have a talkback session where you can ask questions at the end of our speaker's um, presentation. So feel free to go to the Q&A panel to put in your questions. You can queue them up as early as when he is speaking. And then once he has completed his presentation, we will answer them for you. If you do not know where the Q&A panel is, it is in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You should see Q ampersand A. If you do not see that, click on the three dots and a menu will appear. Click on Q ampersand A from the menu. Once you get into the Q&A panel, just type in your question, press the enter key, and I will have it at the end of the session. We also want to make sure that you know that at today's construction summit, we have copies of our resource guides. Resource guides follows our guiding principles of transparency, and we have information in it that will cover contract administration, incentives and programs, certification, and compliance. You can get your copy of these guides at chicago.gov/DPS guides. So without further ado, I am going to pass my controls over to Bulent Agar, the Deputy Commissioner at the Chicago Department of Water Management.
Thank you, Jackie. Good morning,
And
everybody.
if you would just give me just a second, so when you get your share button, you should be able to share it now.
Yep.
I'm going to press record before you start.
Yep. Thank you, Jackie. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bulent Agar.
Bulent, can you,
Yes,
yeah, if you can put it in presentation mode,
sure.
your format. There we go.
There we go.
And you may begin.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bulent Agar. I'm the Deputy Commissioner over Engineering for Department of Water Management. I'm here today to present the first look of this year on behalf of our Commissioner, Andrea Cheng. We'll spend a little bit of time going through what we do, our operations a little bit, and then the importance of water in our lives, because obviously World Water Day was Tuesday, March 22nd. It's been celebrated since 1993. It celebrates water and raises awareness of the 2.2 billion people living without access to safe water. It's all about taking action to tackle the global water crisis, and also a core focus for the World Water Day is to support the achievement of sustainable development goals. So with that, I would like to go through our presentation and, like I said, go over the overview of our Department of Water Management, so you can kind of see what we're doing on a daily basis and long-term plans, and talk about the projects too. Like I said, we're in a very great spot with Chicago because we have Lake Michigan, the world's fifth largest freshwater lake in our backyard. And just to put in perspective, almost all of the liquid fresh water is in groundwater. So we're extremely fortunate to have Lake Michigan in our backyard, like I said, um, because it's only 2.5% of Earth's water is fresh water. So that's what we need to live. And for us, Lake Michigan supplies water for our neighborhoods, businesses, recreation, and aquatic habitats. And not to mention our suburbs and all other municipalities that we sell water to. Lake Michigan levels fluctuate in response to manufacturers such as precipitation, evaporation, runoff, and you might have seen it in the news too, where this past year we've had really high lake water elevations, which created some issues for us and for our other departments too. It's kind of coming down now, but it's always an issue that we keep an eye on. Um, like I said, about 40% of the irrigation that's used for water is coming from aquifers too, and that's a huge issue, uh, especially in the Midwest area here in Illinois, because time after time, with all the research and studies that are done, we're seeing that the aquifers are, the levels, water levels in aquifers are coming down. So in the next 10, 20, 50 years, we have municipalities and suburbs that are looking for alternate sources of water, which again, we have Lake Michigan that we can provide water to them. So that's an ongoing process with all our suburbs, and we're in active conversations with them and finding solutions, working with them. Now, of course, we have all this water in our backyard, but it's not like you can just drop a bucket and pick that water up and start drinking it. So it has to go through certain operations before it's delivered to our customers, whether it's residential or our suburbs. So what we do in our department is we treat the drinking water. So we have different sections that work on this, like a water quality section that's overseeing our microbiology and chemistry and microscopy sections and water treatment. We also have our water distribution system maintenance that's done through pumping, operations, distribution, and engineering bureaus. We have our combined sewer system maintenance. Obviously, the water comes in, but we have to take the dirty water out somehow. So our operations, distribution, and engineering sections are involved with that. We also transmit the wastewater to MWRD. We don't waste, treat our wastewater ourselves. We send it down to MWRD, who's doing the treatment for us. We were just talking about our customers. We're serving the city of Chicago residents, our suburbs. We are serving over 5.3 million customers as of now. That's about 42% of our population of Illinois. So like I said, we have direct connections and indirect connections that we supply water to the municipalities around us. Just to talk about a little bit of our Chicago water system, we have two CRIP structures, and we have two of the largest water plants on the top 10 in the world, Jardine being #1 in the world, and Sawyer plant on the south side being #8. We have 12 pumping stations, of currently 9 are electric and three are steam powered. We do not have elevated storage, so everything's pump on demand. So you can kind of see the challenge there too. Winter months and summer months, even day-to-day basis and a weekly basis, the demand changes between our residents, our and our customers in the suburbs. So we have to adjust to that really quickly and get the pumpage adjust for demand. We maintain 4,300 miles of water mains, anywhere from 6 inches to 16 feet in diameter, including tunnels in the lake. We have over 48,000 existing water valves and what 490,000 water accounts. A little bit information background on our sewer system. Like I said, it's a combined sewer system that transmits waste and stormwater to the MWRD. We're serving about 230 square miles of our drainage area. We have 4,500 miles of sewers, anywhere from 8 inches to 21.5 feet in diameter, meaning the tunnels. And we also have 350,000 structures like catch basins and manholes that make up our system. At this point, we're going to dive in a little bit in our 10-year capital improvement program and just to take a look at where we are. Our goals for the 10-year program were to replace about 880 miles of water mains. So we're actually now it's more about 790 miles of water mains that are completed. Rehabilitation of 700 miles of sewers, which would be either reconstruction of sewers and upsizing them, or if there's no need for that, but the sewer system is old in certain areas, we do lining on our sewers and structures. So we've completed about, as of today, it's about 715 miles. So we met our goal there, and we're actually continuing our program with those miles. And our goal was to line about 95,000 sewer structures. We've actually exceeded it, and we're at 97,000 structures as of right now. On the facility side, we're designing 2 pumping stations. 2 were designed already, and we're converting 2 pumping stations, and one's completed and one's under construction. So all this does is, for our residents, it means on the water side, fewer main breaks and less shut-off time of repairs. So as you're replacing these water mains, you're seeing less and less of uh, disturbance to our water system, less shutoffs, and less construction out in the field. So what we're finding out is, with old infrastructure, let's say you have a leak somewhere and you start fixing it, but then you turn it back on, there's a leak just around the corner. So you're chasing it. So it's not just a one-time thing where you're constantly coming back to it. So rather than spending money on that, we're replacing our water mains so that we give it at least a 100-year useful life. It also brings good paying jobs to build the system, so it's a positive effect on the economy, and we have strong foundations for cities' future growth, where if you have the good system, especially like, let's say downtown areas and near the west side, south in west southwest is a huge deal right now, where we're trying to bring developers in the south and west sides. Um, the better system you have, the newer system you have, the larger capacity you can provide, more when it comes to those areas and spruce up the economy. And for homeowners, it means in the service side, it's fewer basement backups, it's better water pressure and less restoration. So um, there are areas in the city where we're seeing time and time again basement flooding. And me having had a few in my house, I know how bad it is because I mean you just need to stop everything what you're doing, just clean up, restoration of it, especially if it's a finished basement. It's just a lot of time. It's a huge cost for the homeowner. You're dealing with insurance. So our goal is to basically, wherever we can, increase the size of the sewers, the capacity, um, and basically increase the quality of life for our residents. And again, on the water side, we'll have better water pressure through new remains, and because we're going to have less disruptions and less restoration, meaning what I was just saying before, the less time you spend and less money you spend with maintenance, you're spending less time in restoration and funds too. And to get into what we have in the near future for our projects, so we do have a engineering, professional engineering services contracts, and we do have construction contracts that will be coming up. Um, we're going to have design consulting services. It's basically going to be new RFQ. It's usually for 5 years and $5 million, depending on the size of, if it's design and construction. We're looking to have those advertised towards the end of the year, probably Q4 2022. In Western Avenue pumping station conversion, that was for 5 years and $10 million. That's for consultants. That was recently advertised. And going into some of the other contracts in 2022, we do have topographic survey contracts that we are planning to put out at some point in the future. And this year, it's basically to be able to do topographic surveys for our water main design tasks. So what happens is we have this separate contract to be able to do the surveys in the field to bring back the information to our designers to do the water main designs prior to issuing for construction. So we do have a few facilities projects that are going to be coming up. So we have always have some issues with maintenance with our stations and purification plants. So we have some roofing maintenance and repair services for our plants of about $5 million for construction. At our Sawyer plant, that's the south plant, we will have a low lift pump and chemical building roof replacement project that's going to be advertised around, it's going to be around $5 to $10 million. And boiler improvements projects from the $10 to $20 million. And we do have both for Sawyer and Jardine plant, the phosphate system modifications construction work that's going to be around $500,000 to $1 million for each plant. So, and we're trying to coordinate that, even though they're going to be separate contracts, we're going to be doing that at about the same time so that we can coordinate the work between the two plants. And again, those are expected to be out later in 2022. On the sewer side, sewer improvement opportunities. So our sewer programs, I should probably have mentioned in this last slide too, but we will be using mostly IEPA SRF loans to fund these projects. And again, on the sewer side too, we will have some new sewer construction projects where we increase the size of the sewer. So it's a reconstruction of the sewer and the street. We're right now looking at 6 projects for bid later this year. It's going to be dependent on our funding too, the loan funding approval, but it's going to be throughout the city. It's going to be various locations. Um, looking at probably 6 projects, standalone projects at around 25 to $35 million total for these 6 projects. Another program we'd like to take some time to talk about now is the lead service line replacement. So last year, a few different programs were unveiled by the city of Chicago. Uh, just to go through them a little bit, just to summarize them, we have the homeowner-initiated lead service line replacement programs where if the homeowners would like to hire a contractor and remove the existing lead services themselves, they'll be able to apply for this program, and the city is going to be waiving up to $3,100 in permit fees, and the city will connect the new service line to the water main and provide a free water meter at that time. Um, our most recent program that has started is the Equity Lead Service Line Replacement Programs. This is where we utilize a contractor to do the work, and it's free if you meet certain criteria where the contractor is going to be replacing the lead service all the way from the street, from the water main to the house, which means, it's the private and the public sides are replaced for at no cost to the owner. And it, if you're a low-income resident, if you own and reside in your home, and if your household income is below 80% of the area median income, so it's about $72,000 for a family of 4 at this time. And right now, the priority is given to those with elevated lead concentrations or children in the home. Um, and this program is ongoing. So it was bid last year. We have a contractor, so that started already, and it's active, and work is ongoing on this contract. So just to be talking about future initiatives, we have a few lead service line replacement contracts or programs that will be coming up. There's going to be a lead service line replacement alongside water main replacement project, and that's anticipated to be out to bid in Q2 of this year. There's going to be another program for lead service line replacements for daycares. And again, that's being prepared for bid for Q2 of this year. And another program or another contract we're contemplating right now is the lead service line replacements associated with water service line repairs. So this is something that's going to be happening on a daily basis where regardless of the age of the service or the time of the year, it could be winter, you could have frost issues, there will be breaks and leaks in our system on the services. So starting 2023 with the new act, the IEPA Act that's being discussed right now, if there's a break and leak in the system or in the services, that would have to be replaced all the way from the water main to the house. So while the details are being discussed, there's going to be a need for a contract to be able to get at least, the private side of the lead service line replacements at a certain point to be able to be in compliance with the new act. So that's being put together now. It's looking like it's going to be forbidden either Q2 or Q3 of this year. And again, this is all a part of the $6 to $10 billion of a program that's going to take multiple decades because we're looking at 390,000, 400,000 lead service lines to be replaced throughout the city. So there's going to be more information on these as they come up. And again, of course, we are following the MB and WB participation rules that are put forth by DPS and the City of Chicago, and we're actually doing better than that. So right now, the minimums are 26% MBE, 6% WB, and the veterans-owned business is a 1% minimum. So all our projects that are being bid right now are including these limits or goals, if not more. And again, on the water side and the sewer side, it's similar opportunities because you could be doing, even if you're on the design side or surveying side or from the construction side, there's going to be survey work, electrical work, HVAC, materials testing, asphalt placement, and for construction, trucking, landscaping, concrete and pipe installation, similar things on the sewer side and facility side. So we're putting our goals in our contracts, book two specifically, and we're looking at opportunities to see if we can do better, depending on the work that's being done and the subcontractors that are available. But again, we are following the same rules that we've been following for MBWB participation. That's a quick look at our programs and what we do and what's in the tab. And of course, we will be continuing with our designs for our conversions of our pumping stations, but they're not quite ready yet for bidding, so they're not in this list. But we're working on those right now, and we're probably looking at later this year, but or maybe 2023 to get those out. But this is kind of like the snapshot of what's being expected in 2022. You can always follow us on Facebook, and because we have also alerts there that are connected with DPS when the projects are bid out. And with that, we are in the questions and answers section, and we could take a few questions, and I'll hand it back to Jackie at this point.
Great. Thank you, Bullet. And as you can see, the Department of Water Management also has a lot of opportunities. So feel free to dig deeper. I am going to put in the chat area. So if you leave the chat panel for me, I'm going to put in the chat area where you can find the buying plan, as he referred to, so that you can see some of this information there. I also will be putting information in where you can see this presentation and the PowerPoint after today. Let's get on to the questions. And the first question was, so 20 miles left to be completed. How long do you think it will take to complete the 20
Mhm.
miles?
So yeah, we're looking at that now, and actually we're working out the details of our lead service line programs too, because as you know, in 2023 you wouldn't be able to do just a water main installation, because if you're disturbing the services on it, you'll have to do the lead service lines that come with it too. So we're at a point where we're looking at that and trying to basically figure out how we're going to get the next 20 miles done. But some part of it could be in 2022, some part is going to be in 2023. So we're determining that now, what gets done in 2023 with the lead services.
Ready? The second question is, how do residents apply for the LSLs?
Mm, Sure. Actually, we should put that on there too. Um, let me just, I'll put it in the chat.
Yes.
Let me just stop sharing for a second. Sorry for that. So it's letssavechicago.org. Um, okay, actually, I wouldn't be able to put it in the chat right now because I kind of lost that window, but it's letssavechicago.org. That's where you can get more information about lead in paint, lead in water, and there's also the application page. If you'd like to put in your information, that's some basic information there, but then it'll take you through the detailed application where there's going to be questions about income verification, household information, but that's where it starts. letssavechicago.org.
Say that one more time, and perhaps I can help you put it in there. Lead station.
No, it's Let's Safe Chicago.
Oh, let's safe.
Yes, chicago.org. It's one word.
Okay, you can see if I put it in there
Yes,
correctly.
yes.
Okay, wonderful. All righty. Can this diagram for service lines be used by ward offices?
I will check with Commissioner's office because I think something similar to that was issued, but I could check it. I'll definitely get back to you on that one.
Okay. Let's see, there were some questions about the test kits, I guess it is. Is there a place to get the water test kits to check water contamination?
Yes, it's the same website, let's say chicago.org. You'll be able to request a free test kit at that same web page.
All righty. I have a question, which is a great question. Do they offer internships jobs with the Department of Water? Do you know?
We've had it before, but that's through Department of Human Resources, so it's probably Good question to ask them directly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. And the general City of Chicago website should be able to direct you to the Human Resources
Yes.
Department.
Right.
What provisions, allocations of the Infrastructure Act will be applicable to upcoming bids? And how much are you expecting in terms of dollar amounts?
That's still in discussions with the state of Illinois. So we don't have the exact amounts of which pots we're going to get, which money or which funding from them yet. But it's we're in discussions with the state right now to finalize those numbers.
If you have any questions for our guest speaker, Bulent Algar, please make sure you're putting them in the Q&A panel. Please do not put them in the chat panel. Please put them in the Q&A panel, okay? So that we have one place to look for your questions and we get them all answered. Any schedule for CM professional engineering services for target market?
Jackie, that's an open procurement issue, so I don't think we'll be able to answer that.
Okay. And the question was, what is microscopy? Microscopy? Did you mention something about that?
Uh, sorry, what was the question again?
Microscopy? Did you mention something about that in your presentation?
Yeah, it was something. It's a section that it's a DWM section that deals with it. Like it's water quality basically. We do testing for our water, but I don't know what the question is for that.
It was just, what is it? And
Oh,
I think you
yeah,
gave the answer.
it's an internal process. So we have, as a department, we have a water quality section that tests the water on a daily basis from our plants. So, but it's something that we do internally. So if there's a question about contract for that, we don't have something that's coming up right now.
All righty. I think Bullet corrected the website, LEAD SAFE Chicago.org. That's where you can find that information. Are there any additional questions? I'm just going to go back just a little bit to see if I missed any questions. There is a question on the construction side. Will there be contractors for dump trucks?
That's a services contract. So, Jackie, let me get back to you on that one because I don't have the answer to that right now.
Okay, all righty. For the questions that we haven't answered, we will take your email down that you submitted in to get into the session, and we will get you the answer back to you. Thank you for submitting your question. Will there be a RFQ upcoming for professional sewer design services? The current contract uh, ends in 2023. Will there be a target market set aside for the same design contract?
Yeah, we haven't finalized that detail yet, but yes, there will be an RFQ coming up to continue those services. But
Are there
definitely, our focus is definitely on minority and target markets. So, yes, we're working on that.
Are there any additional questions that you might have? Feel free to put it in the Q&A panel that's at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. If you do not see the Q&A panel, there's three dots. Click on those, and then that will bring up the Q&A panel. Type your question in and press the enter key, and we will get them answered. I'm just going to do one quick review and make sure that I have asked all of your questions. And there is one more question for Bullet. Oh, I do see two more questions there. Um, Are there any plans through Invest Southwest to provide support for LSL replacement to food businesses?
So basically, yeah, so the question is the Invest Southwest initiative going to provide lead service payments for businesses, right? If I get that correctly. I don't know the details of that because we'll have to basically look at that with Department of Planning and Development. It's kind of their program. So it's something that we can maybe talk to them. But right now, I am not sure if there's any plans for that yet.
I can definitely circle back and get an answer from Department of Planning. Which pump station will be converted after Western Avenue?
We're looking at, so between we got two projects, so we're looking at Lakeview and also we're looking at Cermak, but we're in design phase now, so it's going to be dependent on how the timing works and the funding for it from the state, because this is going to be on um, IEP loans also. So, but we're working on Cermak right now, design.
How many remain to be converted? Do you know?
It's going to be dependent on what we pick next, so I can definitely get you an answer on that too.
Okay. And can you put up the last slide? Because I think it had, or one of your slides that had information where they can contact uh,
Sure.
the Department of Water. Or if you want to put it in the chat, you can do that as well. They're asking for an email of where they can contact.
Sure. For some reason, actually, my WebEx is frozen, so I can't even pull up anything or put anything in the chat, Jackie. Sorry, but if you could pull up the presentation, it was, I think, 2 pages before.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm frozen for some reason.
Uh, so give me just a second. And I'm going to take the controls back from you,
Sure.
Colin, just so that you
Yep.
know. You said 2 pages from the end?
I think it had, oh, it's got Facebook there. We could provide you yeah, there was another slide that goes with this. I don't know what happened to it, but we will provide contact information to you, Jackie.
If you just go ahead and say it, whatever
There's a few different ones, so it depends on if it's lead services, if it's regular questions. So I can get that to you.
okay, not a problem. Are there any additional questions that anyone has? I do want to take this time to thank Bullen Agar for participating in today's workshop and giving us that great information. If you have further questions, you can get those to us at dps.events@cityofchicago.org. We recommend that you fill out the survey at the end of this presentation. If you have additional questions, you can put them there as well. And I want to thank the participants for sharing the hour with us. And it hasn't quite been an hour, but we'll give you 25 minutes of it back. Our next presentation will be at 1 o'clock with the Chicago Department of Procurement Services. Thank you all so much for attending and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.